guys! Welcome back to Cooking with Chinoka 1. We're doing book reviews and we're doing some really simple shit cooking because yeah, depression. That's another thing we're going to talk about. But yeah, y'all get to make me, or see me, make ramen and like not fancy ass ramen, like poor people ramen, okay? And I'm just going to make some macaroni and cheese with rotel in it because it's amazing! And then I'm going to bake cookies. So yeah. Alright, now I know probably everybody knows this, but I'm just going to say it for shits and giggles. If you ever get any fresh produce or anything like that, always make sure to clean it and wash it before you eat it. Like, even if it comes in a bag, it's still best to be safe than sorry. And literally, it's just like, fill your sink with some water, throw in some white vinegar, leave it for 45 minutes, and you're good. And then, of course, for today, we are doing, like I said, 4 people ramen, so I need to refill this. Alright, so of course you get your water going. And when I say 4 people ramen, I mean 4 people ramen. I ain't doing fancy shit. But I'm going to teach you how to do it and do it well, so it's like more filling, because this is not healthy at all. It's not, but it is affordable, and it fills your belly, and makes you, belly, and makes you less hungry. So, I'm going to help you do it. I'm looking for something, and I don't know what it is here. Sharp knives, my favorite thing. Alright, so I have kale, because kale is good for you, and you can pretty much, throw it in anything. You're making you some ramen, throw it in there. And you make it a salad, throw it in there. Make it a sandwich, throw it in there. Making homemade shampoo, wait. No, don't throw it in there. So, it's not expensive. Like, I know people think about the fact of healthy living is super unaffordable. It's not. Like, if I get one thing of kale, I have to make an effort to cook it that week or else it'll go bad. And then like, this is 1 thing of broccoli. That's a lot of fucking broccoli. I ain't playing. In which case, it's like $1 something per pound. So I mean, this maybe costs $2. Maybe. Also, I work a lot with frozen vegetables. Those are like $1.08. They're in the freezer section. And they're your friends. And like, I've still got a whole lot more kale in the sink from where I washed it. Sorry, I'm tired. It's been a very long week. Dear God, Angel's week. So, if I'm having senior moments, just bear with me. I have ADHD and I'm tired. So Also, I've been eating all day. I forgot. Did I get anything? Nope. You'll find that a lot of my cooking method is pretty much just throw that shit in there. Throw it in there too. Boom, add some more. That's just pretty much how it goes. Like, you know what? Worst can happen. I'll just know not to cook it next time. So, macaroni and cheese. You don't have to get the expensive kind, you can get the cheap kind. Jareth, if you don't get out of my kitchen. No, you are not cute. Get your fluffy butt out of my kitchen. Thank you. Alright, so this, and when I say just throw that shit in it, we're going with rotel. If you don't like spicy, you can just get the regular diced tomatoes. It's super freaking good. But you can also, like, if you have health issues that you need to figure out ways to add more fiber or whatever into your diet, you can do stuff like this and then throw in like flaxseed or what the fuck ever. You're not going to taste it, you're not going to see it, and you're still going to get the benefits. I'm good with that. And yes, you do hear the Twilight soundtracks going on behind me. Because they're fucking awesome. Where's my sharp knives? This is my sharp knife. You know what? I don't need it yet. So, on today's episode, we are going to talk about a few books. Some of which are like, it's going to be fairly short. I'm fixing to cover like 5. Okay, 5. You with me for 5? I've done only 19 books so far this year, and it's May 20th. So, underwhelming, yes I know. But I've also been writing, and I was sick for 3 weeks straight, and just, you know what, shut up, don't judge me. Don't judge me! We're supposed to judge other people together. First book is called Once in Future. It is by Amy Rose Capetta and Corey McCarthy. It is a gender-swapped sci-fi version of King Arthur. And basically this is one of the, King Arthur's way in the future. And he just keeps dying and getting reincarnated if they don't, succeed in, this great mission. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I DNF'd. DNF means did not finish. In which case, I was listening to the audiobook, so I don't know, maybe the text version would work better for me. I don't know. There's some kale in it. There's some kale in it. There's some kale in it. There's some more kale in it. Jareth, I will squirt you. What was I saying? Once the future. Didn't work for me. Moving on. Rephrase. I'm gonna get back to my ramen. So, what we are doing is I am adding stupid freaking amount of vegetables because of the fact of I don't get enough and I don't eat healthy, and the fact of fun story. Hold on. On the subject of depression, if anybody is on any kind of antidepressants, please keep in mind, this also goes for any kind of birth control, anything like that, that antibiotics can mess with what you're taking. When it comes to birth control, it can make it ineffective. But in the case of antidepressants, that's a lot more dangerous. Okay, because it may just make them not work as well, or you can start having a seizure, or you can die, or like I did, you can basically start shaking like this all day. And it takes about 4 days for it to get out of your system completely. And meanwhile, your legs keep spasming, and you basically just keep kicking stuff. And then you're tired because your legs are basically walking and running and kicking shit 24/7 a day. You're doing it in your sleep, okay? Like, I freaked out at work. I know I never Miss Nancy, and I'm just like, something's wrong. And she pulled me into one of the exam rooms for patients, and they called one of our doctors in there too. And they were both just immediately on the internet trying to find a solution to the fact of, okay, why is this happening? And that's what it was. See, but here's the fun part. By fun, I mean not. When you go to any sort of, doctor's office, they always ask you, has your medicine changed? Are you still on this, that, and the other? And you're just like, yes, 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 no, adjust that one, yes, okay. You do that. I did that. And he asked me the fact of, okay, have you ever been on Augmentin? I'm just like, yeah. He's like, are you allergic to it? No. And he's like, all right, I'm just going to write you a script for that. Can I just tell you, apparently he just wrote me the prescription without putting it in digitally or looking at my file, because if he had, it would have come up with a warning saying that you cannot, prescribe Augmentin with the Wellbutrin because of the fact of, no, your patient may start to seize. I did not start to seize. Yes, I know you're disappointed, but you'll get over it. Like I said, like this. Except like my legs kept kicking and jerking and everything else, and it was very close to a seizure. It progressed so rapidly, it was really part of the concern. Because that morning I'd gotten up and I just felt like I had too much caffeine in my system, which was weird. And I felt shaky, like I had too much caffeine, not like I hadn't eaten. What am I looking for? I'm like, I'm looking for something, and I'm not seeing it, but I don't remember what it is at this point. Because you know why? ADHD. He gave it to me. I didn't know that anything was wrong. They're the doctors. You expect them to check on that kind of shit. So when I was at the dermatologist this morning, she looked at me in freaking horror. As soon as I basically explained the fact of, okay, why my leg keeps jerking and kicking up. And she was just like, he can't do that. I'm like, he shouldn't have. She's like, no, he can't do that. It would not let him do it in the computer. Like a warning comes out. And I'm just like, she's like, so he just wrote the script and didn't even bother with your file? I don't know. But yeah, it was very scary. Especially considering the fact that I had no fucking clue what was wrong. Of course, Nancy and them got me in the room, and they're just like, has any of your medicine changed? Have you eaten anything? Have you drank anything or anything like that? And I'm just like, no. And of course, I am trying very hard not to completely lose my shit. Not easy. Miss Nancy's trying to keep me calm. Also not easy. Like I said, I went from being fine to just absolutely shaking like this. You know. And like, I just went to Miss Nancy and said, something's wrong. And I did that escalated from fine to that in like 5 minutes.
So, you can understand why I was a little bit concerned and apprehension. But it's okay. It's okay, I had reason. It's fine.
They ended up asking me about the fact of, have you gone to urgent care or anything? And I was just like, yes. They're like, when? I was like, Friday after work. So, did they prescribe you an antidote? Or, not an antidote. Antibiotic! Thank you, that's the word. And I'm just like, yeah. And I was like, they prescribed me, Augmentin. Both she and the doctor immediately go, that's it. And I'm just like, they're not even in that field, okay? We work in orthopedics. In which case, they knew you don't mix those. Which says a lot. Alright, so that's not quite done. It will be. Like I said, super simple shit. Jared, I swear, you were not cute. In which case, I had to go. Called my psychiatrist, and he was talking about the fact that, okay, these are my symptoms, something's wrong, and they're, I'm like, I am literally twitching and spasming from head to toe. Like my entire body just jerked to the left. And they're just like, okay, we'll give her a message. You would think that would, inspire some urgency. No. It gets better. I still had not heard from them after I'd called twice. And at this point, Nancy and them had pulled me into a room. And they were like, you need to go see, your doctor over there. Because she'll have a better idea of what this is and if there's anything you can do to counteract it. So I went over there and went inside. Basically the fact of, okay, hi, yes, it's me. I'm the one who's called twice already because I need to see Veronica. Her name's not actually Veronica. And they're just like, oh, well, she's not in the office today. None of our physicians are. Did I mention the whole body was spasming and twitching? I was freaking the fuck out. And then basically it was the fact of, I just like there's a counter in the window or whatever. And I was just like, because she's like, she's not in the office today, but we'll give her a message. I need Veronica. You better have an emergency number. And they're just like, we'll get her on the phone. Thank you. And so in which case, that's what happened. They pretty much told me to go back out to my car, and then I ended up FaceTiming with, my doctor while I was out in my car. And she was not concerned, which made me feel a lot freaking better. And the fact that she was just like, no, this is what's happening. And I was like, oh. So, this medicine, not only is it making my brain not make the chemicals that are like, hey, you want to keep living, or any of the happy chemicals. No, it's not making this. It's basically, your body's not spasming because of your muscles. Your brain is spasming because of your head. So if you take like a muscle relaxer or anything like that, trying to like stop it, it's not going to do anything. Because of the fact of, that's not the problem. The problem is up here. Because apparently the chemicals are just not mixing well together, and they're fighting and they're arguing like children, and they need their get along shirt. And I guess it's close enough to part of your brain that involves motion and movement and fitness, and I don't know. So it was like forced gym class for about 3 days. I mean, my legs should be great. I mean, it's leg day for 3 days. Oh, also, when it comes to ramen, you can literally throw any shit in here, okay? Like, if you're like some sort of Japan fetishist or ramen snob, go sit somewhere else. Alright, so let me explain to you the thing. Not only is the broccoli cheap, not only is the kale pretty cheap, frozen vegetables are cheap as hell, okay? This one probably cost about $3 because it's a big bag, and this one was for soup, so it's got more stuff in it, like peppers and potato slices, and it's already all chopped up for you, so you don't have to worry about it. And basically, you just put it in a strainer, dethaw it, and then throw it in there. And hey, you've added vitamins to your ramen.
They're in the frozen food aisle.
Literally, you can just throw them in a strainer, throw them in some hot water. Because if you just throw them in there with your ramen's going to get cold. Because this is ice. Vegetables for soup. Where'd you get it?
Walmart on the frozen food aisle.
It's 8 o'clock and I'm not in bed and I'm so tired. Like, I wanted to come home and take a, go to bed, like a running start and a swan dive. But, yeah, that didn't happen. Oh, that's what I forgot. I'm like, there's something else I was going to add to that. Lunch meat! Pull you out some, chop it up, throw it in there, boom, done. I don't like and don't eat a lot of meat, so I pretty much have to figure out ways to get it where I can.
Because I'm just not a fan. You're like, whatever.
I honestly couldn't tell you the last time I ate something that had meat in it. Like, I just don't care. And so, which case, as far as the depression goes, it was bad because of the fact of, no, your brain's basically not making any serotonin or anything like that because of the fact of, augmentin will fuck up your brain. And I'm like, no, I need serotonin. That's like 90% of my impulse control. You can't do this to me. So, but after enough days, it's wearing off and slowly just basically drink a shit ton of water and try to flush that shit out of your system as fast as fucking possible. Ta-da! Protein. You can also drop like an egg in there. Some people do. You see it in anime and stuff like that. I've never done it. I could. I've just, whatever. I'm very chill. Pretty much my entire outlook on life is, whatever. Alright, and again, my philosophy about just throw shit in there, throw shit in there. Alright, so we got soy sauce. We got hoisin sauce. If you like chili oil or sesame seed oil, you can also throw that in there. Sriracha obviously is like God's gift to this planet, so it needs to go in there, okay? Don't leave it out. Yeah, this is me delirious. I get hyper. Don't ask why. Okay. Ramen. Not yet, but it will be. It's full of yummy stuff instead of just the brick. The brick is good, but it could be better. And just sort of swish it all in there. It doesn't matter if it gets smushed. It's all going to the same place, and it's all going to taste the same. When I say poor man's ramen, it's because I grew up with this. Bed was a mattress on the floor, and your clothes were all in a garbage bag. Like that. So, ramen I was well familiar with.
Meanwhile, we're going to go back to the macaroni and cheese. It'll be so much fun.
Because, seriously, don't fuck with that shit. Antibiotics and antidepressants and any sort of psychotic medicine. You better make sure that you, when they go to give you an antibiotic, can it go with my other medication? Because apparently doctors don't give a fuck. My brain is as random as my ramen. Next book is called Secondhand Curses. It's these 3 guys, well, 2 guys and a woman. They were basically crooks and thieves and stuff for hire. And basically, if you need it done, you're willing to pay, they'll get it done. And it's sort of like you get these little ins and outs of different people's, Cinderella and different stuff like that about the fact of, accidentally making a deal with a witch or something that you didn't realize, and you get to see more into each of their lives, and it's very well into it before you get to, one of them, it's obvious who he is. But the other 2, I could not figure out who they were until basically it just got further into it, and I'm like, oh, that's fucking brilliant. Oh, damn, I like him. He's bad shit. Jareth, what are you doing? No. I finished it and it was interesting, and the way it ended, I'd be curious if there was a sequel. Where are my scissors? Next book is called The Prince and the Dressmaker. And this is actually a graphic novel. And The Prince and the Dressmaker is super fucking cute. It's a graphic novel. So the art, one, is freaking fantastic. Like the outfits, the costumes, just yes. And yeah. So here's the thing. Yeah, they become friends when she's hired to be his dressmaker. Because basically he cross-dresses. Because it just makes him happy and he likes it and he likes the fashion and, you know, in which case, of course, that's something that he hides. But, you know, with her help, he ends up basically being able to wear all these, you know, different dresses and stuff like that. And the two of them having like a freaking fabulous time when they go out to events and stuff together. And like over the course of the story, they become like best friends. And then, you know, it's got several points that address what I wear does not define me or my gender or my ability. You get sort of a surprise at the end of the fact of, okay, I didn't see that coming. That was a whole round of support I did not see coming. And the fact of they're just like literally like a whole parade of just fuck yous. And it was beautiful. And then the next one is complete genre jump yet again. It's called Memory Man, and it's a crime novel that is, I found out about it when I was studying, and it was one that she referenced in the book numerous times as far as like things that he did well and elements and different stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, apparently this book is amazing. It was interesting. It really was, but it could have used a lot of help. And oh, massive effing trigger warnings, okay? Because there's a school shooting at the beginning. It's already done and said, but there's like graphic depictions and stuff like that. 2 different cases somehow ended up having a connection, which is literally just to the detective. But the case is like years and years old, and it involves, you know, sexual assault of this teenage girl. And then Amos, his name is Amos, ended up losing his entire family like 12 years ago, or something like that, a few years ago. And he has this basically perfect memory. If he sees it, he can replay it and remember it for freaking ever. Though sometimes he'll have to go back and like re-look at it because of the fact of he was focused on something else. But, you know, he saw it happen, he just wasn't focused on it, and at the time it didn't mean anything. But then he goes back and he's just like, well, holy crap, I'm so freaking tired. When my depression is bad and shit goes wrong, impulse control, it's gone. Because I am like, yeah, when it comes to buying or shopping or eating, make me waste cheese. What the fuck is wrong with you? You come into my house. I'm nothing if not stubborn. Ha ha! What now, bitch? So, like I said, Memory Man, again, so many of these books are subjective. I ended up being curious, and I'll jump all over the place as far as like genre and different stuff like that. Because, you know, if you only read the books that you write, you're just going to end up bland and boring and whatever, you know what I mean? Formulaic. So it's really good to jump all around. And also you can learn how to do different things better by reading a genre that's more focused on that particular element. Like whodunit. Agatha Christie is pretty much the best at that ever, which is fantastic. I love it. I've never read one of her books. She says. So, we have my ramen, which was just a regular thing of ramen.
Ta-da! Yummy! Yummy, yummy, yummy! Yummy!
In which case, that's going to keep you full a lot longer. It's got a whole bunch of healthy shit in it, you know, frozen fucking vegetables, man. You know, buy some kale, throw it in it. Like, that's just pretty much the easiest and best route for cooking stuff, unless you're cooking specific stuff. Then follow the recipe. Then in general, just throw the shit in the pot together. Son, I will introduce you to God if you don't get out of my kitchen. That is unsanitary. You're not cute. Nope. I'm really bad about drinking water. which is not good for you. Drink your water, eat your vegetables, get 8 hours of sleep, she says, as she follows none of her own advice.
So on today's episode of 30 Minutes to Number One,
we've got, vegetables that are cheap, but they're really good for you. Eggs, easy forms and sources of protein. Throw some kale in it. Now, if you've never done it before and you gotta go out and buy like the soy sauce and hoisin sauce and sriracha, okay, that's a little bit more expensive, but it's like a one-time buy that's gonna last you for a while, okay? So don't freak out. In which case, literally, like, this stuff can go in anything anyway. Just like the kale. I need to go to bed. Oh my god, this is what happens when I'm tired. Everything is fucking funny. Even if it's not actually funny. This ain't really much for lunch, but better than what I did today, which was nothing. Alright, so it's a very delirious Tanoka one saying she did not finish Once in Future. She did like secondhand curses, but it was okay. Oh, holy shit, I totally forgot Trail of Lightning. Okay, so Trail of Lightning is by a, I think she's Navajo? That's referenced several times, so that's why I'm wanting to go with that one. Personally, I could not have read it without the audiobook, because I would not know how to say half of the names, any of the names. I would not know how to say them. Because there's like clicks and stuff like in it, like, it just odd. That like looking at it, my brain is going, in Japanese it sounds like that, in English it sounds like that, French it sounds like this. She's like, which one are we using? None of those sound right. I don't know. I'm like, I don't even know how you pronounce that. There's a lot of commas. I don't know. And it's references to different, not only people and cultures and different stuff like that, but, Navajo gods, legends. I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the second one. Because towards the end, like, there's a major plot twist that was like, that's the opposite of how red herrings and foreshadowing are supposed to go. You've made it very blatant. You think it's, we're meant to think it's this character that's the bad guy, and this character that's the hero. And the fact of, no, he's still the villain, and he's still a hero. He's just a dick. In fact of, well, that big reveal wasn't anything. Wow, I'm shocked. Didn't see that coming. I kept waiting for the big reveal of the one that you weren't trusting to be the actual good guy. In which case, what's his face is a complete dick. I was like, no, you can die in fire. No, I don't care. Yeah. So, trigger warnings for that one too, because of grossness, blood, gore, different stuff like that. There's decapitation, there's people getting eaten, there's blood, so much blood, and different stuff like that. So if you have any squeamish issues there, yeah, no, go read The Dressmaker and the Prince, or The Prince and the Dressmaker, and just stay there. It's happy. Don't go there, it's a dark place. So, I'm fixing to go eat this and then go frack to bed because I am delirious. And I have nothing else to teach you, young Padawan. May the Force be with you.